Breaking news, breaking news. One of the Tesla bombers has bonded out of jail. This is 19-year-old Owen McIntire, Kansas City, Missouri, arrested for throwing Molotov cocktails at a Tesla dealership on State Road. Went to school in Boston, was traveling back to Kansas City area for his family for the spring break from Boston, and committed an act of terrorism, according to federal prosecutors Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. And then after the firebombing of a Tesla dealership went back to Boston, has been released from custody. But you'll be shocked to hear why the judge let this suspect out. Gender-affirming care. So Owen McIntire here could receive gender-affirming care that would not be provided while he's in custody. Oh my goodness, folks. Let's talk. Well, let me give you some information about this guy, what happened here, and then we will further discuss. Check it out.
Bria and John, the government wanted Owen McIntire to spend the time before trial behind bars, but the judge in Boston sided with the defense in this case, which cited multiple medical issues facing the 19-year-old, including autism spectrum disorder, gender dysphoria, and ADHD. McIntire's attorney argued the teen should be released, citing serious and ongoing medical needs and treatments that could not or would not be provided while in federal detention. The defense filing says McIntire is being treated for depression and since March has been receiving gender-affirming care. That care would likely be interrupted or terminated in federal custody.
All right, this is coming from media reports in Kansas City. Suspect in Kansas City Tesla arson freed from federal custody. A Missouri man accused of setting fire at a Kansas City Tesla dealership has been freed from federal custody. Fox 4 obtained court documents that spell out the defense's reasons for releasing 19-year-old Owen McIntire from jail. He was arrested earlier this month in Boston. Greg Watt, a former prosecutor and current state and federal defense attorney, says this isn't out of the ordinary. They're looking at flight risk. They're looking at a threat to the community. Those are the two overreaching issues that any judge considers when releasing somebody out on bond. What the courts don't want to do is put too much burden on jail staff to extend unique care or specialized care if they don't have to. Investigators believe McIntire, who lives in Parkville, Missouri, but attends a college in Boston, used a Molotov cocktail to set fire to the Tesla dealership in March. I'll share the video after this right here. The fire damaged 2 Tesla Cybertrucks, but no one was injured. Here's what's going on. A federal judge agreed to release McIntire from custody last week. According to federal court documents, McIntire's attorney argued he should be released, citing serious and ongoing medical needs and treatments that McIntire's attorney believed could not or would not be provided while in federal custody, federal detention. Goes on to say the defense filing says McIntire is undergoing treatment for depression and receiving gender-affirming care that began in March of this year, and that care would likely be interrupted or terminated in federal custody. His attorney also cited his client's lack of criminal history and deep ties to the Kansas City area community as reasons he'd not be a flight risk. Watts emphasizes the fact that the federal courts are way more equipped to handle suspects out on bond due to having access to more resources and fewer caseload than what they have in state court. Some conditions of the release: must live with his parents, participate in mental health program, and take prescribed medications, and avoid all Tesla dealerships. But remember, folks, the government said this is an act of terrorism, so they let a terrorist out on the street. Oh my goodness. Let me know what you think. So you got Pam Bondi saying that this is an act of domestic terrorism, and these people here that are doing these firebombings are literally could get 20 to 30 years, and the guy gets a bond. The judge, who is this federal judge, says that he wouldn't get that proper care, so they let him out free. And so now you have, as all this Tesla fire bombings and these indictments, you got one that is out. This is the second one that I actually out. The one down there in South Carolina, his last name is Ponder. He's also out too. They gave him a $10,000 bond. He must stay with mommy. Same situation with this guy right here. He has to stay with mommy and daddy. 19 years old. Does that mean that all this talk that the government's saying about these Tesla bombings, there's really you'll bond out? You'll bond out, I mean, it's supposed to be tough on crime, right? They're letting a potential terrorist out on the streets. It's pretty wild, folks. Let me know what you think. Sub the channel, hit the notification button when more information comes out about this guy in this case and any other Tesla arrests. You'll hear it here on JLR Investigates. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned.